Hello and welcome to the show. Viewers, as you know that we have started some of the show to bring some information on various subjects, which is on the education, health, and there are many things that on which we can discuss on. So today in our guest we have Mr. Shyam Kishore Singh, who is chairman of K.P.N. College, B.Ed College, Palamau. And now today we will talk about the new education policy which has been brought by the Modi government after long 34 years. So first of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Singh. Welcome, sir, in our
Thank
show. And
thank you, Mr. Anuj. Thank you.
we have many questions to be asked for our viewers. And the first question that goes to you on what is your opinion about the new education policy which the current government has brought in? What do you think? What's your opinion in?
Uh, Mr. Anuj, we should take it positively, which because that there is everywhere changing is taking place. But when we see that the from a longer periods, the first national policy for education, which was introduced in 1986, after it was again amended in 1992, then the government brings the one rules which was the right to education, that was the RTE on 2009. After that, there are so many changes took place in the schooling systems, like you may say the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. But there is a need of drastic changing in the Indian education, which has been the recent government bring with the, you may say, the Union Cabinet by 29 July 2020. We have to focus the main things that the India have a most young population which needs which needs to transform their knowledge in a skills and the knowledge, and we can bring them, then our country become a Bisuguru in the world. The main question is that what was the basic changes, what was the need of changes in the education policy. Everyone knows that the prior 2 to 3 years there was a skill India program. It was on the mass levels, but it was flogged due to the, have you seen, there are so many people those who are running under the tent. It was the money making institutions, you may say. But now government had been changed, it had been drastically changed. That's the, if you are taking the, particularly there are two segregation. First was the school education and second was the higher education. When we are talking about the education, school education, prior it was the metric, then intermediate, or you may say the 10 plus 2 board, like this. When you will see the ICSE, CBSE, or state board, like this. Now government has been changes. It was the 5, 3, 3, and 4. Okay, a student whose age is nearby 3 to 5 years, he will take admission in Anganwadi, Bal Vatika, you may say, or you may say preschooling. Then he will go. That stage is called foundation stage. Next stage is that the students goes in the second, that is preparatory stage, that is preparatory stage. And next, when he goes to the middle stage, and then the secondary level. That is
Okay.
5 fundamental stage, 3 the preparatory stage, and 3 for the middle stage, and 4 for the secondary stage. We have to see it how government has been changes it. When the student is in fundamental stage, he must have to be play with the so many games. He has to play with. It means you may say the activity based learning only. They don't have to go through the books and other things. When they entered in the middle stage, they have a activity based learning, but they must have to also learn that the, you may say, the pedagogical and the curriculum based. When they are entering in the, you may say that the middles, they have to go through the some subjective knowledge and interactive with the subjective teachers. When they are entering in the secondary level, they have to study the multidisciplinary subject and the particular one subject what they want to be in future. Like this they have government mandate, and I think it is very easy. When we are thinking that the, if suppose we have to read anything, suppose we have option that today we have to read Hindi, tomorrow we have to read maths, day after tomorrow we have to read the something subject. It is too much easy. But we have to read the all the subject in a one day. It is tough. The same thing government has been done by a step. A student can continue their learning.
So my first supplementary question that relevance to the point that you are trying to raise here, will you see that there will be any change, any positive impact in the massive education system in India, where a lot of agents are there? I think apart from the government institution, there are private party, the private players. They are also doing. They're also promoting education. So, will it bring any good impact on the overall education system in India? Do you see it, or what is your point of
Definitely,
view
it
on
will
that?
bring the
Okay.
definitely it will bring the good impact on the education system. When we see
Okay.
the government which is whatever the taking decision, that's all decision definitely you may say that the related with the government public benefits. As we know, the mass player in the private sector also entering in the institutions. When we will see in the not schooling level, but when we will see it on the higher education, HEI, higher education institution, definitely it will bring some difficulties for the institutions, those who are small, because
Mhm.
government as have amended it, the institutions, it will be the multidisciplinary institutions which will bring the mass level, we may say the approx 3000 students on a one campus. That is the difficulties for the person who are running the small institutions. We may also say it is another challenge. The person who have a good educational skill, he might be the poor in wealth. So it will create challenge for him. What will the policy for the government? Let us see in future that what is the facilities government is providing for the person, those who are very good skill in the education, but they are poor in the wealth. So we have to let us see. Another challenge will be government, which we have to see like the migrant labor, those who are migrating with their family and their child from here and there. Another migration is also we will see in the Palamau, that the seasonal migrants, like the people are migrating from in a paddy season to the from Palamau to Aurangabad and the some other district or other state. So there are so many challenges still we have to see in future that what the action government is going to take in. But it will take time. After the amendment of the policies, it is not possible that all the things will be took place within the some stipulated time. It can take, and the step by step, government have to definitely amend it, and government have to add the so many things in there.
Okay, so there are critics that they are trying to highlight the problem, and they are saying the education bills that the government has brought in is lacking the transparency and lacking the scientific education methodology. How do you see it?
Uh, uh, I don't believe in like I don't believe this that this is going to happen, that it is not scientific and it is the something things which has been not disclosed.
Okay.
May I right? Yes. So I don't believe in this. I think definitely there is a challenge. There is a challenge for the person, those who are educated. There is a challenge for the person, those who are running the stone-alone institutions. Like the you can take the example. There are so many pharmacy college, B.Ed college, and some other college are running. They have a lots of challenges. That what is going to happen after 2030 or after certain times. They will got that opportunity to convert their college into multidisciplinary college, or they will be shut down. It's depend on the future course of action of the government. But right now we can't say that there are so many problems in these bills. We may see the some problems, we may shout out the some problems, but definitely it will be eradicated. Because when we will go through the policies of the government, of the implementation policies, government has involved to the MHRD and the state regulatory body and the other body, all the things. You see right now that what is the system is there. When we see first is Anganwadi regulated by the some other body, second is primary education regulatory by the other body, third is middle, it is regulated by the other body. Fourth is higher, and the you may say the 10 plus 2 regulated by the higher and the regulated by the you may say that the jack, not higher education institution, but from the jacks. So there are so many bodies regulating, so it is creating problem. But when
Okay.
the single regulatory body will be there and that will be regulated in a manner, so it will see the 360-degree discipline which will help to the student, those who are going to mend their future. So I think it's positive.
So, so in short, you are trying to say that you are not convinced with the critic what they are trying to, cite the reason that
No.
this is not scientific. The second question that I'm trying to ask you about, that since you are also running an institution and that produce a number of teachers in the region, so
Yes, yes.
how do you see in your region or in your college when you are trying to push the teachers, the aspirant of teachers who are trying to be teacher in coming days? So how do you make them efficient considering the NEP and considering the old methodology of education? How do you see, sir?
Let us see. We have to see the new methodology, what is going to come. It will comes in 2021 with the consent of the NCT and the NCERT. The regulation will become comes the NCFTE, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education. It will comes in the next year. We have to see it, what is going to happen. Right now, little bit we may say that the when the education policy comes in the existence, everybody have a some little bit question that what is going to happen in future. The B.Ed course will be for 4 years, it will be for 2 years, or it will be for 1 year. That is the difference. That is the problem right now we are facing. Again, people are asking the questions. The 4 years integrated course is also going on in the some universities. It has been already introduced in 2014 by the NCTE. Again, we may say we are running the 2 years B.Ed course. There is the option in the NEP for the 1 year course. What will be the details about this particular course? It has to took place. We don't have any guideline about that things, but the whatever we have gone through the NEP, National Education Policy, about that, the 1 year course will be so particularly for the subject teachers. Words had been used there, that is the subject teachers. So this is the things is there.
Okay. Okay. All right. So there is. Do you also see that there is politics around the education system that Mr. Modi has brought in?
Pardon?
Because do you also see that there is a politics in the system that he has brought in terms of the new education policy?
Uh, uh, Oh, we can see that nothing is without politics when we see the things, because
Hmm.
definitely government has been elected by the political parties. We have to remember it. Everybody have a different opinion. They can add it with the politics. They can leave it with the politics. But when we
Mhm.
see, I have don't a problem about that the what is the politics, what is not the politics.
Mhm.
We have to consider that the government which have brings the policy, how it will be implemented in future, how it what's the critics, what the crux of the this particular, you may say the gist of this particular NEP, how it will be implemented and bring the changes in the Indian society, we may say, about the international things. Because when we are thinking, it is the one theory, it is said that the think act locally but think globally and act locally. It is there. You may have already gone through that the government is focusing on the language which are nearby the regions. When will we see about the India that the language has been changed from the very nearby the places? This is the things is going to happen. So I don't think that it is politics or not. It will depend to the political party. But I have a one major question that what will be the implementation? How it will be implemented to get the better benefits from the this policy? It will have to we have to see it.
See, why I'm asking this question is there are people, especially from the left background, that they had questions and they had, remark over the NEP system that had been brought in. That possibly the language teacher, and more precisely, I would talk about the Sanskrit teachers who have not been given a due, benefits in the past. So, on that note, I wanted to have your highlights on. How do you see, sir?
About Sanskrit teacher,
Absolutely, the language teacher and more particular in the Sanskrit part.
Sanskrit part.
Yeah.
Okay. When will we see that there is a particular recommendation in NEP that the Sanskrit Pathshala and the university will be set up for the particularly, and government will take the mission mode for the training the particularly teachers in a Sanskrit. I think it will be beneficial for ourselves because of how we may take. There are so many dharma. We may say that there are so many Vedas and all the things are coming in the Sanskrit, that they are also related with the medicines, you may say the yoga and the some other thing. So I think it will be beneficial for ourselves, and we should not take any languages, either it is from the Sanskrit, from the, you can say the regional languages, Kudu, anything. Each and every language is beneficial for the ourselves, and we should sustain it. We should keep it. When we will see that after the Sanskrit, there are so many languages in India which is going to eliminate within some times. So when local languages will be introduced in the education system, it will be again grown up, and it will be become a broad sense. It can grown up day after day, time to time, it will be comes in the existence, and that will be beneficial for the India, because there are so many languages which are going to definitely, if we are not protecting them, it will be eliminated from the our country. So we should protect them, and new education policy, it will be, you may say, the boon for them.
Okay. Okay, so relevance to that, my next question goes to you that this policy takes almost 35 years to bring in place. And
Yes.
till the time there is generation after generation have been destroyed in terms of the employment and their overall developments. So, do you think that the compensation or this education policy in a particular would be able to compensate that?
No, no, I don't think that the from long time, from 34 to 35 years, the generation has been destroyed themselves. Because the when changes comes, when we feel that there is a need of changes, the changes took place. So we can't say that right now if changes is taken, it should be taken before 10 years, 15 years. Now we can't say like this. When it has been changes taken place, we have to see the forward. We don't have to see the back. We have to see the forward, that what is going to happen and how the benefit will be taken by that. If there is a lacuna in this particular policy, we have to amend it. Again, we have to make it for the fruitful the society. We don't have to see the past, that it has been not introduced. Because of this, there are so many population has been dropped down, they have been trimmed down. I don't think like this. We have to only think the positive things, how we are going to make our child, those who are 3 to 5 years, those who are 6 to 8 years, how they have to make us, that they should be a good citizen of India, and they should contribute, they should remember the constitutional value along with the fundamental duties. Right now, we will see that we are a literate person, but we don't know what is the constitutional value of our constitution, what is the fundamental duties of ourselves. We know the fundamental rights, but we forgot the fundamental duties. This is the differences. But when we will see the new education policies, it is focusing mass on the fundamental duties and the constitutional values. So I don't think that what is gone on the past, that has been destroyed. Definitely, we may say that if the policies will be very good from the beginning, that can play the very good role on the society. But we can't say that which was not implemented prior, it has been destroyed all the thing. Because definitely it was the national NP, National Policy for Education. It was working there when the NP. National Policy for Education eliminated, the new education policy NEP has been comes into existence. So it is the continuous process. We can't say that the acceleration or the speed making is the destruction policies. We can't say like this.
Okay, all right. So I think it's interesting to see that you are finding all the way. It is more positive notes on the education policy. Let's see how things gets forward. How the people they are reacting to it, and how it is being in place on the ground after so many years. So
Yes.
uh, that's all from today, Mr. Singh. We'll try to connect you in days to come, and would like to chat on more interesting topic in days to come. So thank you so much for connecting with us. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anuj, and I thanks to the Garhwa post who have given the opportunity to join you, and we let us see in future. Okay. I wish you for your bright future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.